Excellent.
Excellent.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear him?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Yes. Yeah.
The story of Ferdinand and Rose. That's your musical intro.
Very nice. We're waiting in anticipation.
Children, sometimes a book becomes so special to you that it becomes a friend. This is such a book. The Story of Ferdinand by Monroe Leaf. Drawings by Robert Lawson. Can you see okay?
Talk to him. Can you see?
Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little boy, and his name was Ferdinand. Look, he's looking at the butterfly there, see? All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together.
Yeah, that's what mine looks like.
But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit and just quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers.
Oh my God.
Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. Why don't you run and play with the other bulls and skip and butt your head, she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here where I can sit just quietly and smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. Ooh. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. See how he gets bigger each year?
Look how they're measuring how tall he's getting on the tree.
In 2 years. That 2 years.
Now he's an old guy.
Pretty big. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid.
What? Bullfight?
I
know that's what you United States.
Oh my gosh. That doesn't sound safe.
But not Ferdinand.
Oh,
He still liked to sit just quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers.
that should be dead already. It's really old.
One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid.
Oh, no. They're going to be Ferdinand.
all the other bulls ran around snorting and butting, leaping and jumping so the men would think they were the very, very strong and fierce and pick them.
Well,
They do look strong.
yeah. They're actually just
Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care, so he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down.
Okay, those
You didn't
leaves.
hear.
Those leaves are dead right now.
He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee.
Oh,
On oh my God! I thought it was the
Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him. And that's just what the bee did to Ferdinand.
oh no.
And then
Wow, did it hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting, butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy.
crazy.
Because he got stung by a bee.
The 5 men saw him and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all. Just the one for the bullfights in Madrid.
Oh great. Oh crap.
So they took him away for the bullfight day in a cart.
Oh, they took him away in the cart.
What a day it was. Flags were flying, bands were playing, and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair.
Oh,
Oh, I'm starting to make a connection.
They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the bandoleros with long sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Next came the picadors, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome. He bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword, and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, don't you?
Ferdinand. Yeah. See,
He looks a little nervous.
He was scared. Yes.
They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the bandoleros were afraid of him, and the picadors were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff.
Oh my God!
Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers and all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled.
That's what he likes to do.
He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the bandoleros were mad, and the picadors were madder. And the matador was so mad, he cried because he couldn't show off his cape and sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he is sitting there still under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers, just quietly. He is very happy.
Oh, he ended with an emotion. Just like you do. Oh.
Did you see? Yay. The posters.
I like the way that writer ended with an emotion. When we do our writing, we try to end with emotions too.
Yeah. Good way to get people's attention, isn't it?
We loved it. We had someone here say he was not made to fight.
Yeah. Kiddos, if he had fought, things wouldn't have gone well for him. But because he was peaceful, he got to go home.
And he ended happily. Well, we would like to send you a thank you, if we could. Look for it on your Gmail address, and it'll be from Crockett.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Honeycutt.
It was fun. Bye, kids.
Have a great day.
Honeycutt.
Bye-bye.